Oh, shit. Okay. Braxton Family Values, season 4, episode 10. This is not the finale. This is the mid-season finale. Y'all know in the past couple of seasons, they broke it up in half, and then they're going to bring it back. This one Tamar and Vince come on in this little time, and then they bring it back, for the second half. So we at the mid-season finale. Let's get that straight. So when we start this back up, it's not going to be season 5, episode 1. It's going to be season 4, episode 11. This season 4, episode 10. Because sometimes y'all be getting confused. But fuck all that. Did y'all see Scandal? God damn. Scandal fucked me up, and then I had to go look at this shit right afterwards. Let me just say this. Fitz is over here worrying the fuck about Olivia. And I was about to cuss that bitch out like, you hoe. You hoe. Now, see, I'm so over. I hate Fitz and Olivia right now. I'm like, girl, what? Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. Middle finger to you. I'm so tired of y'all finna fuck, and then you out here worried about Olivia and your daughter out here being a motherfucking thought on purpose. Okay? The Eiffel fucking Tower. So what that means, a dick was in her mouth and a dick was in her back, and they was holding hands like that. Like, what the fuck did that mean? I'm confused. But it is what it is. But moving on from that, let me just, because I feel myself about to go in, and I had to caution myself because from last week episode to this week, a whole bunch of, first of all, no, we're going to get that. First of all, I just remain silent on that because I'm not here for a lot of the messy bullshit, the pettiness, the going back and forth with motherfuckers on Twitter. You have, and I ain't even been on Twitter, so I truly don't give a fuck. And this is one of the reasons because when you look at shows like this and then people get so caught up in their stand feelings that they can't see when the person that they go so fucking hard for may be wrong. Not everything that they do may be right. You can call them out and say, okay, I really wasn't here for that, without being looked at and saying that you're not really a true fan or whatever the fuck. Okay? That's what real fucking fans do. Alright? As a human being, not everything that you do is going to be fucking right. And I'm prefacing this for a reason. Because over the weekend, from last week, this whole fuckery of bullshit came out. People were still in their motherfucking feelings over that stupid ass comment about who paved the way for who. I'm like, you gotta be goddamn kidding me. It is a Friday night. People are still talking. Why the fuck y'all ain't now going partying and living it fucking up? It's a fucking Saturday. Motherfuckers still all up in their feelings. A beautiful Saturday at that. Why the fuck y'all ain't now chilling, kicking it with your friends and shit? Why are you still talking about something that happened months ago? Okay? And what people need to fail to realize is it irks me so much how people get so fucking involved in this shit and they have such strong opinions when these are, and they got so negative shit to say about people, and they fucking flip-flop. And I just seen how much fake shit was going on, and I'm like, you don't know these people in real life. Some of you don't. Okay? And then all of a sudden, because one sister says something about the other sister that you go off for, oh, she this and she that and she that, but you was just going so hard and all up on their Twitter feed and all this stuff and trying to get noticed and retweets from them. I'm confused. Fucking confused. I hate that shit. All right? I just don't get the stand mentality. I don't get that bullshit. All right? If you're gonna be a fan, be a fucking fan that can call your fave out on that bullshit. Like, for instance, I'm a fucking fan of Beyonce. Not everything that bitch do is good. First of all, let me tell you something. She must have went in Braxton Family Values season 1 closet and got the motherfucking wigs because that bang is fucking atrocious, okay? I am fucking tired of seeing it, alright? Alright? That's not right. That is not right. I call the bitch out. I'm gonna drag that hoe until she move them bangs out her motherfucking hair. Okay? I'm just saying I just want to slap them shit. Like, girl, god damn, bitch. Put some motherfucking sheen on the goddamn hair. I'm confused about what the fuck is going on. Bitch, fuck. When I'm talking about motherfuckers' hair, put some sheen on that shit. That picture that I sent to her, I'm like, girl, the fuck is wrong with you? You came outside looking like, somebody matted up Barbie doll hair. I said, what the fuck? Blue, why you do this? And why you let your mama come out here like that? See, I went the fucking in. But at the end of the day, I'm still about her shit. And I know the fuck, the bitch is the bitch. But some people just can't do that. Okay? Some people just can't say, oh, well, bitch, you wrong for this. I still love you, though, but you wrong for this. That ain't right. All these comments about, who paid the way for who and all this shit, it's just so fucking dumb. And like I said in the last review, because once again, stupid shit like this brings out the ignorance. And I knew this shit was going to happen. I knew this shit was going to pop off. That's why I didn't go on Twitter. That's why I didn't care to go on anything else. Because it's just like, I just knew it was going to pop off. I knew it. Because it brings out the fucking ignorance in people, and especially these young dumb fans, okay? I'm not trying to go in on the Tay Martians or whatever, but it's a lot of dumb bitches on that. It's a lot of dumb of them. Some of them are dumb as fuck. And because they're so fucking young-minded. I'm not trying to be mean, but they're so fucking young-minded that they think that they don't know their history. There you go. They don't know their history. You got some saying if it wasn't for Tamar, it wouldn't be this, it wouldn't be that. No, bitch, it's the other fucking way around. Okay? Tony had to agree to do this motherfucking show because had she not agreed to do this show would not be on. And if it would have been on, probably wouldn't even been that popular. Okay? I'm just saying. A lot of people, when they heard about Braxton Family Values, they tuned in because Tony Braxton was going to be in it. All right? And there you go. And then people, oh, she's pop. I'm never trying to discredit what Tamar has done because Tamar has worked her motherfucking ass off to get to where she at. And you can't ever take that shit away from nobody, okay? She put out some good shit, but sometimes people just don't think before they fucking speak sometimes, okay? And when you're in the heat of the moment and you're angry, you may take something that's not meant to be taken a certain way the other way, that you opposite direction. Okay, and that's exactly what happened in this situation with that pay the way comment. All right, I knew as soon as that shit came out her mouth, because in plenty of motherfucking interviews, that's why I said at the end of my review when that shit came out, I said, oh no, why they didn't edit it out, because I know she didn't mean it like that, because we all know Tony helped and all this stuff. And people took that and ran with it like a motherfucker. And I'm just like, I knew she didn't mean it that way. I knew she didn't mean it that way. And I was like, I hope to God she just interpreted it wrong. And sure enough, you get on this motherfucking TV with this finale, and she interpreted it wrong. Because when she replayed it back, when she was getting up from the table, her and Trina was still arguing about them getting put out. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Oh, and her little fact checkers had to come out and show that, Trina was in the club or whatever with her that night or whatever. Okay, who gives a fuck? They family, they fight, they make up, they put in an appearance. And it just irks me so much how people all of a sudden, you want to switch up and go at the sisters like Trina or whoever. And I'm like, from what we always see on either if it's on Twitter or if it's on Instagram or even on the show, the only one that really, really, really automatically shows support for Tamar has been Trina. So when I be seeing it, I'm like, really? Okay, I get Tawanda sometimes. I get why people got an issue because I had that same issue. Like, girl, what you doing is kind of shady. But, it is what it is. So it's just stupid, all right? And then, when they was at this little table, Tamar got up and, she was finna leave. But then she came back and she was like, no, let me explain myself. I'm not taking anything away from you. Because in many, many interviews and many times, Tamar has said that, she gives Tony her props. She respects Tony. Tony did this for her. Tony did that. So that's why I knew not to take that shit to heart. Okay? But you got young dummies. Somebody actually left a motherfucking comment on the goddamn page saying, well, what other hits have Tony? I don't get the big deal about Tony Braxton. She only had like a couple of hits besides be a man about it and something else. I said you gotta be out your goddamn mind. You's a young bitch. You have to be. You gotta be young. Okay? If you gonna put a comment, please do your research first before you say some shit like that. And that's how I know you young. And that's semi past, but no. That's because after that, Tamar basically was like, but Tony Braxton didn't make me. That's what she took that paved into, paved the way to be. And I was like, see, there you go. She interpreted wrong. It was all a big misunderstanding. That's how I'm taking it. That's how I'm taking it. They didn't say that Tony made you, Tamar. They said she paved the way, meaning that she helped you in a way. She helped you by getting you exposure, meaning getting you to this life, meaning putting you as a background singer, so you can see the workings and the ins and out of a business or whatever. Yes, you put in that hard work, and it was other people along the way that also helped you. Okay, you didn't do this by yourself. You put in that work, but you didn't do it by yourself 100%. All right, let's be fucking honest. Okay, and that's what the whole fucking, let's clear that up. Okay, because then people, Tony came out first. Tony was discovered first. Tony got the deals for the girls. Tony got the girls to come in, okay? Then they couldn't do nothing. They put that album out as a fucking group. It didn't go no motherfucking where. Then they wanted Tony as the motherfucking solo artist, all right? And then Tony got the girls, the 3 girls, the motherfucking record deal or helped in getting that. And that still didn't go nowhere, okay? So Tamar singing background for Tony. That's giving her more exposure and making connections within the industry so she can get her foot in the door and go ahead and try to get her deals that she got dropped from and all that stuff. In the process, while she's singing backup for Tony, people was like, oh, Vince is the one that really paved the way and helped her out. Okay, if Tony Braxton wasn't here and Vince was working for Tony, wasn't working, if Tony wasn't here, she would have never really met Vince at the time that she did, because Vince came along and was working with Tony years before, like years ago. All right, that's how she met him. Okay, and yes, he is one of the people who influenced and helped her get to where she's at. But let's not deny the fact that she put in the motherfucking hard work. She put in the dedication to go ahead, because a lot of people would have just given up after the first or the second time that they tried to get a deal. This bitch done had what, 4-5 deals before she got the one that she got now. Okay, you can't take that shit away from her. All right, but don't take that shit away from Tony either. And I'm not talking about Tamar, because Tamar knows what her sister did, and Tony just set her ass there like, I'm not finna go through this because I know what the fuck it is. All right, it is what it is. And yeah, bitch, I had to go out. Shit, bitch, I went the fuck out. Like, yes, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the bullshit. Like, come on now. We have to wake up and stop playing, okay? It's always somebody that's here before us that helped us, okay? That's what he's saying. Yes, God put all these motherfucking people. God helped, okay? Because he put these people in your motherfucking, pathway to help you continue on your journey. Yes, Ashley, you gotta fucking say that shit, bitch. I know. I fucking know. Okay? No, I don't give a fuck if I hurt feelings or whatever right about now, but I had something in my heart that I needed to get out, and bitch, I just got that shit out. Okay? Look, 12 minutes, 13 minutes up in this shit, and that's all we got to. I don't give a fuck about the rest of the episode. I really don't, because basically it was the same thing. What was I saying? I don't even fucking remember. I really don't. Oh yeah, and that bullshit that happened, when Zoe got on Twitter and was talking that shit, and then you got her little fans want to be upset because her family didn't come to her defense, and I'm sitting here like, so you really wanted her family, Trina, Tamar, Trina, Tawanda, Tony, or whatever the fuck, to get on Twitter and to act the ass or show the fuck off for y'all, make the shit bigger for y'all. It's a family shit that should never been on fucking social media, but yet it was brought to there, and therefore I'm pretty sure that they probably talked and discussed this behind the scene, but y'all just wanted a fucking show. That's what it felt like. I'm just saying. Like, how the fuck you gonna get mad because they ain't say shit? Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. But moving on from that, Tamar finna go do Essence, and she wanted her sisters there, but nobody really showed up. But Trina, I do remember this, and they had this little thing talking about, oh, it's Trina. I mean, you had your falling out with Tawanda, and she was like, well, the shade between your sisters, and she said no, my sister, meaning that only one, Tarina, is the one that you know really comes out and support her and all that stuff, which is true, which is kind of true. Okay, without asking and without hesitation, Trina would drop that shit and go ahead, and do some stuff for her sister. That's has been proven in the past and proven right now. But yeah, she did that, and she got into her feelings a little bit because Trina did the little interview, but then she couldn't stay for the performance because she hadn't seen her sons in a month or so, and she wanted to get home. And I mean, I get where Tamar coming from. She could have, went the next day, but that was Trina. She said, I gave all that I can give, and you never know the situation. But so she, of course, she was in her feelings again about that. Understandable, I get it, because no one else was there. And after that, they was doing this video shoot. Hold on, before we get to the video shoot, Papa Braxton was on his way from Baltimore to LA. They thought he had a seizure or something because he passed out on the plane. They put him in the hospital. All the girls get together. Mama Braxton was like, always doing something. You just can't. You just want to see my face. This is all you doing, just to see my face. I said, y'all can't tell me. Y'all, them feelings still there, bitch. Them feelings. One day they gonna walk in and be like, Mama, the fuck, Daddy, get off of her. What the hell is going on? It's gonna be like that one day, and I'm be like, Ashley told you. Ashley told you. But after that, what else was happening? This shit with Tony, not Tony, Tracy doing this video shoot. I'm sorry. I shouldn't do this. I just can't help it. I just can't help it because it is so sad. Okay. We talk shit about Crash and Burn, okay? And I applaud Tracy for, doing what she want to do. I don't think she trying to take this music thing seriously, but, she did come out with her album last week. It sold 4,000 copies, and, she proud of her little accomplishment, and that you should be, because trust and believe, I thought it was going to sell less. I'm not trying to say nothing, but I'm just saying without saying. That's what I thought, and it is what it is. But congratulations to her, because, girl, she posting all what the charts numbers is, and she number one on this, and she number 108 on the charts. I said, you better be proud of your accomplishment. There's a lot of motherfuckers out here that said you couldn't do it. I probably was one of, I ain't say you couldn't do it, but I just knew. Girl, Ashley, shut the fuck up, okay? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move on. Congratulations, Tracy. She was doing the video for Last Call, and the little dude, she was like, this nigga is like 5'5". I don't do short dudes. So it was no chemistry, and the director was getting upset and shit because they couldn't get the little, kissing scene together and all that stuff, or they was flirting and shit. And then it was cool to see the sisters come in, and Trina and Tony and well, not Tawanda couldn't be there because she had food poisoning, but Tamar was there, and Tony walked up in there. I said, she walked in there all thottish, and I said she got something going on after this. All right. And then Tony was like, okay, I see the dude, but he looked like, he play in the sandbox. She was like, I play in the sandbox once in a while. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but damn. I was like, oh, okay. We know. All right. You like him young. Okay. That's fine. But, they do the little thing, and it was fine. So, after that, they was going to have dinner at Tamar's house, I guess, since everybody was there. And they was supposed to be there around 7. It was after 8. Nobody was there. So they was like, fuck it, we going to just go ahead and start eating, because it was just Tamar and the parents and Vince. And so when they started, Tamar was basically like, it's so much stuff going on. I think, they just need a break from one each other. She just needs to back away, which probably is true. There is nothing wrong with taking a step back, taking a breather, trying to get to know yourself, trying to figure out your situation, and then trying to come back together and see, can y'all figure this out as a whole? Because that I don't see nothing wrong with that. But everybody shows up late. Tony like, well, somebody told me that we supposed to be there at 9 o'clock. I'm trying to put that out there so nobody won't think I'm trying to be shady or nothing. And Tamar didn't want to do the single. Not necessarily want to do the single. It's just that with all the controversy and all the bullshit that's been going on, how can you do a single and all this shit and come together? And that was basically what she wanted, to get her point across. Like, you can't get in the studio and fake this chemistry and do this shit. We can't even write and brainstorm, but because of all this drama. So maybe we just need to take a break from each other. So, some other shit probably happened at the dinner. I don't even remember. But next thing you know, they go to another dinner at the end. And at this dinner, this is where Tony, giving hints and shit, basically told them that they going to Africa. She's going to South Africa. First of all, she said, I'm going to Africa. I said, oops, really? Which part? Because, girl, you got lupus and all these other stuff. We do not need you to come down with anything else. And this is no shade, and I'm not trying to be funny. I am looking out for her health and her well-being. But she said South Africa, and I was like, my nerves kind of calmed just a little bit because you just never know. You just never know. All right? But the thing of it is, because, she's going to go over there perform. She want all the sisters and family to come. And she didn't want the kids to be there or the husbands. And Tamar had a little issue with this. And, once again, Tamar gets in her feelings because she wants to be heard. And she felt like she not being heard. And then, of course, people going to be like, oh, why y'all get mad because she want her kids to go. Like, come on, Tamar. You can stay away from Logan for a little bit. And you never know if y'all go over there to Africa. Yes, y'all got this problem. But maybe it'll be a healing moment, okay? You can use it to your advantage and try to connect with your family and all that. And not get so upset. Like, you don't need Vince around 100% of the time. Like, you can't do shit by yourself. I'm just asking. I'm just asking because when they got in that car and she literally said that shit about, no baby and no husband. Like, ain't nobody else bringing their husbands or their kids. I mean, Tony got a special needs child. She ain't finna. Okay, whatever. That's just Tamar being Tamar. But, so I ain't even take it personal or whatever. It is what it is. That was basically the motherfucking episode. And they gave a little first look of, Tamar events. I don't know at this moment if I'm going to be reviewing it or not. But it is what it is. That was basically it. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. I apologize if I went in, at the beginning of this. I just had to get some shit off my chest, and I didn't mean to go in that hard, but shit has to be said. And y'all know me, I'm blunt as fuck. And if some people can't take it. If they can't take it, they can't take it. You know, um, you leave your comments. Please don't be fucking disrespectful to anybody. All right, because some of y'all was going in on the last review, and I was just sitting here looking at these comments like, God damn. Y'all ain't have to say that to her. Okay, she was just giving her opinion. Oh, why you talking like that? Hush, 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 hush. Shush, 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 shush. Stuff like that. Just, I'm glad this shit over with. I need a break from it. But, yeah. Y'all tell me how y'all feel, and I'll see y'all later.